Hello, hope everyone's doing well. And we have the Aquilifer's Ballad rerun. Just be having Roma, Leonardo da Vinci, Giuseppe Garibaldi, Alfredo Oriani, Bolzano, and Emanuele Pessagno, whatever the hell her name is. Italian ships. So if you like Sardinia, like the Italians, good news. They're coming back. Roma and is pretty decent. Da Vinci's very good. I see her used a lot. Giuseppe I haven't used too much. I always just use Duca. I like Duca's kit a little bit more. But she's not bad. She's kind of on the threshold, kind of just awkward with the skills. Alfredo and Manuel have interesting skills. And unfortunately, Bolzano, her kit feels like she's supposed to be the rare ship, but they stopped putting out new rare ships. So she's just an elite, an extra skill. That's what she kind of feels like, unfortunately. We get some skins running. So Roma's, Taiho's, Giuseppe's, Leonardo, San Francisco, Alfredo, Bolzano, Emil Kumano, and Makuma. Let's take a look at those now. So very nice. It seems very similar to the one she got from the Battle Pass, which obviously came after this, but similar white dress, but much different background. Taiho's, what you need to do with this one, it's an L2D, but what you need to do is just zoom in right about here. Let me. And just change the position on the secondary screen. So you're just looking at the bag and you're good to go. It's a fun little detail. Lulu's there. Nice Giuseppe skin. So on his skin so far. Swan Lake. Leonardo being a bit of a lady of the woods, kind of a fairy-ish. Her little wings. Friend to all woodland creatures, evidently. Got a bit of a dancer, San Francisco. Loses her punk aesthetic for a little bit. Alfredo's is very nice. I like Alfredo's a lot. It's just design wise, just like how much personality it has and how unique it is. I think it's definitely my favorite out of this whole bunch. And Bolzano, same as San Francisco, a dancer. Dancing on the table. The Manjus are having some drinks. That one's looking, we're a little inappropriate there. And Manuel's feels a little out of place because we have some dancers. We have like traditional dress. That Taiho's okay. Taiho's kind of a separate thing. There's a rental for Taiho. And this just seems out of place, like almost like supposed to be like a idol skin, but it's not an idol event. So not bad, just seems out of place. The Manju is trying to steal her stocking. Kumano's another dancer. Shame none of these were L2Ds or dynamics, but it is what it is. Got the Manju rubbing the bottle and the Genie Manju coming out. And lastly, Makuma's first skin looks very good. So if you liked Makuma and felt like she was underrepresented, well, here you go. You can get her skin. Yeah, overall, Da Vinci, good. But nothing too fantastic this event other than her. There was a Taiho rental at the same time. We'll see if it happens. I don't know if this has rerun or not. I forgot. Event drops wise for gear and stuff, the gear is basically the same from the normal to the hard mode stages, except the hard mode stages have gold gear versions of stuff. But as for ship drops, they're mostly the same. The rares change around. Nelson, we get her earlier. You get the Unicorn, and you can get the Sea Fang, which is a decent little fighter. Or a Unicorn. C3 and as well as A3 are pretty good. You can get Hornet, Saratoga, you can get the Drop Tank, gives HP and Aviation, you get the Helldiver, and the Hellcat. And the hard mode stage gives the Avenger, the Destroyer, Drop Tank, Helldiver still, And the gold Hellcat, unfortunately, the gold Hellcat only drops from the Siren, like humanoid nodes, and the boss. There's a lot less opportunity to get them. Kind of sucks. We can get Saratoga, who's very good. Hornet, not as good than the retrofit, but yeah, I need some other ship girls. The D stages. The toolbox is nice, and you can try and get Dunkirk from D1. You don't have a good battlecruiser for hard mode stages in the lake. D2 has Vestal, Lexington, and it has Battalion Plane. So if you want to stay authentic and accurate-ish, much as you can to like Aquila and Aparo, there you go. Steam Catapult, but same case as the Helldiver or Hellcat previously. It's only from the boss and Siren nodes. And then E3, you can get Giuseppe, you can get Renown in Arizona. Okay, drops, you can get Renown in Arizona much earlier on than this. And as for the gear, the gyroscope's nice. Fuel filter's nice for survivability on a budget. The Littorio gun's not very good. I wish the Destroyer gun from Virtual Tower was in this one instead of this. So Leonardo has her good gear for her skill. And as for the shop, be aware that the general blueprints are from Season 5. So you can do Season 5 and below, no Season 6 or 7. And there'll likely be some free pool tickets you get in here. Yeah, overall, decent little event. I guess now we will go into the ships individually. So first up, we have Roma. Much better than I remember her being. Taking a look at her kit again. She is a Veneto class, one of the battleships. Keep her away from any Fritz X missiles. She does not do well with those. She got a pretty good barrage with a really high activation rate of 75% chance at max out. And I was playing out Nagato having a 4% at max, so definitely very good activation rate. And if it doesn't activate, the salvo that triggered it deals 20% extra damage and slows enemies by 30% for 5 seconds that are hit by that salvo. So even if it doesn't proc, she has some utility. It's not consistent enough to say, okay, she's a good slower, but she does have that kind of utility there. But the barrage got good enough proc rate, and it covers a good chunk of the screen, so that's pretty good. Second skill, increase her firepower and accuracy by 15% for each. Very nice. And the next part of the skill, I'm kind of like, okay, not fantastic. When the battle starts, and every 20 seconds after that, perform a sonar scan that reveals enemy submarines for 8 seconds. Sorry, that's nice, but your Vanguard, unless you're running all heavy cruisers, is gonna see the submarines anyway, and probably take them out. So, yeah, not a huge fan like the sonar scans and skills that reveal the submarines. If it also made them take extra damage while they're being revealed, that could make it better. The next part of her skill, much better than that second part. Every 10 seconds and every time Roma sinks an enemy, increases Roma's crit rate and crit damage by 5% and can be stacked up to 3 times. So 50% extra crit rate, crit damage, plus the 15% extra accuracy and firepower. Very, very potent, very strong. And she has some more utility in decreasing enemies' torpedo by 8% while Roma is afloat. And there's always going to be ships with torpedoes. Whether it's destroyers, cruisers, heavy cruisers, submarines, little destroyer boats, enemies that aren't actually like ship girls, torpedo bombers. So that's nice. And, you try and dodge them. Doesn't always work. And if there are 3 or more Sardinia ships in your fleet, so 2 other than her, decrease loading time of the ship's first main gun volley by 30%. So overall, not terrible. Not like a fantastic buffer, but Veneto is there for that. You can pair with Veneto, and then just one other Sardinia ship. It should be quick off the mark for a first salvo. Yeah, better than I remember. Not fantastic, but not terrible at all. Pretty good. A pretty good margin. So if you want to build a Sardinia fleet, there you go. It's a pretty good option. Is she going to be massive going forward? I'm thinking no. But if you have Vento, then if you want to run a battleship fleet like that, Leonardo Da Vinci. The Italian submarine. She is very good. She's got good stats. She has some really good skills. So increase her own accuracy in torpedo by 10%. And then also her damage against light armor enemies by 15%. I've seen her a lot in the extreme challenge mode stages. You know what other people do. She's like the go-to submarine that I saw. Well, it was all throughout last year because it's just the same one, so I haven't been doing them again. That 2,000 coins per level is only worth the effort. But if Da Vinci has Sardinia gear equipped, increases her torpedo accuracy by an extra 10%. Now you're probably going to have to run the destroyer gun, the Italian destroyer guns, because the Italian submarine torpedoes are not good. Much better options. So, you know, not going to be relying on her firepower anyway. It's not particularly good. Yeah, just get one of those Italian guns. And you'll be good to go there. And then 3 seconds after entering the battle, Vinci will move forward and summon Kaguro. Now, it's a little summon that will go forward a certain distance and drop 3 sea mines. Now, these sea mines, if something hits them, do a ton of damage. That flooding inflicted by them just tanks whoever gets hit by them. So, very good. I've seen it just wipe out health bars. And it lasts for 24 seconds. So it stays. And based off torpedo stat, so you want to have good torpedoes on her. Nice buffs. The floating does not stack. So if the enemy kind of slides and hits them all, that sucks. I think it just refreshes. And then the little summon will return to the boat. And after Da Vinci retrieves the little summon, moves back and fires special barrage. And also, on top of that, really nice torpedoes and mines, it's extra oxygen. And in normal like combats, like campaigns, event stages, once per sortie, the whole submarine fleet can join a battle without having to be in range. Very, very nice, very, very useful. Save you on some oil. This is why I used like U-114, I think it was, for the longest time. Because she had open ocean support, and I think she was the only one until Da Vinci came out. So that was really nice, really useful. In Operation Siren, auction stays the same, and what the skill does instead is decrease the cost of deploying your submarine fleet. So if you're going to get anyone, Da Vinci, definitely the one to go for. I recommend her. Alright, next up is Giuseppe Garibaldi. I'm not quite sure what to feel about her. I haven't really used her too much. I always use Duca over her. As Duca came out sooner, I had Duca longer, and Duca was already built. But she's got some good skills. It's just the timing on stuff, and it seems very convoluted, and a lot of just word spaghetti. But maybe we'll find some use for her. And she is free from the event shop. Well, not free in the event shop, but you don't spend cubes on her, ideally. For 6 seconds of the battle, the firepower torpedo and reload buff of 15%, and fire special barrage 3 seconds after the battle starts, and a 70% chance every 20 seconds after the battle starts. So every 20, you'll fire it again. It's good. Originally, I thought it was just once, but no, it's every 20 seconds. So definitely seems more mob fleet oriented just from that one skill, because you should be killing things from that first 60 seconds anyway. And then increases her damage dealt to destroyers and light cruisers. Very good. A little niche. And then here's where things get a little bit convoluted. 20 seconds after the battle starts, decreases her load time by 20 seconds once. So whatever she has in there, take away 20 seconds loading for it. Okay, that's nice. It's only once. And decreases her speed by 8. Okay, that's not great. Does decrease her damage taken by 6%. That's good. And increase her damage dealt by 15% until the end of the battle. The drop of speed isn't fantastic. It takes her down to what, 27, just like a old battleship speed about. So not great there. The rest of the skill's nice. But just the fact it's delayed and then your preload, it kind of makes her just almost get another preload after that 20 seconds. The cooldown will start ideally after the battle starts, and just whoop, drops 20 seconds off it. And our third skill, survivability, decrease AP damage taken by 20%, and whenever she does take damage, there's a 50% chance to generate 2 shields. Each shield can block up to 2 torpedoes and lasts 10 seconds. There's a 20-second cooldown on this effect. So maybe if it was 15 or 10, be a little bit better. And then when the ship is reduced below 30% of max HP, once per battle, she restores 10% of max HP. So, get some viability. The pieces are there. I just haven't used her very much. She's not terrible. I just haven't used her. And I always had Duca ahead of time. But I definitely see some utility there and some usage. I just haven't used her myself. Also, when the battle starts, if you have 3 or more Sardinia ships, she fires her all assault immediately. Yeah, Giuseppe, decent pickup. Exchange shop as a drop. Would I spend much cubes on her? No, because you can get her elsewhere. Next up, Alfredo Oriani, whatever you want to say. She's an elite destroyer. Stats are a little bit lower, but she's actually got really good firepower. That's not bad. If she's in the front position of your vanguard, decrease damage taken by 10%. That's nice, especially if she's going to be up there. So you can probably run some little bit of evasion tanking with her. Maybe. 10 seconds after battle starts, with a 40% chance every 20 seconds after that, throws a flare that lasts 10 seconds, prioritizing humanoid enemies, or the enemies closest to the ship, not humanoid enemies. That decreases all enemies in its range by 20%. Very useful if you're fighting a lot of destroyers. Destroyers tend to be very dodgy. And then Alfredo herself deals 15% extra damage to enemies that are affected by this flare. Not only are they more easy to hit, they take more damage from her, which is nice. And 20 seconds after the battle starts, increase ship's evasion by 15% for 5 seconds. It's every 20 seconds. Little evasion buff, which ties into her being in the front position. Makes her dodge more, so definitely has some dodge tank capabilities. And once per battle, when this ship or Sardinia Empire ship in your vanguard falls below 30% HP, deploys a smoke screen that only lasts 5 seconds, which is not a lot of time. And that increases evasion by 40% for everyone in it. But it does not stack. None of the smoke screens stack. So definitely interesting. Definitely see some dodge tank usage on her. Next up, we have Bolzano. Now, I feel like she's supposed to be the rare ship of this event, like blue instead of purple. I'm just kind of getting that vibe from her. Her kit seems very generic and basic, like an old school ship had, versus the newer ones. Everyone else's had detail, like Alfredo, we just did. A lot of detail in her skills. So definitely feels like she just kind of got artificially bumped up. Skills take 20% less damage from AP ammo, which we've already seen. And she gets her evasion buff when she fires her main guns. Nice. 50%, decent amount. It's only for 2 seconds. And she can't fire very fast because she can use CA guns, which have a bit of a delay on them. They have like a 4 to 6 second downtime. It's only... And actually... Oh, it's always. It's guaranteed to fire. Okay, well, that's nice. Just a very short period of time. And then full firepower, just extra firepower for 10 seconds. Just for preload. Just kind of saying with Alfredo, if you get her, that's good. If you like her design, then absolutely go for her. But Not going to recommend her too much. It's a very interesting design, though. Uniform, nice dark hair. Yeah, it's a very appealing design. Just skills just seems like not fantastic. It's weird because everyone else has like unique kits, and then hers just seems kind of, other than the evasion buff, seems like kind of all right, just whatever throw on her. Pad the numbers. And lastly, now I can see her full name, Emanuele Pessagno. She is the point accumulation ship. So after 10,000 points, you'll get a copy of her. She have a preload? She does have a preload, which is nice. Torpedo is not good. Yeah, kind of stats all around. ASW is okay. Over the 200 threshold. Skills, though, pretty cool. So whenever she takes damage, it's a 5% buff to her AA and evasion. It's active 3 times for 15%. Very nice. Keeps her alive. And for the first 3 battles fought by her, increases her firepower and torpedo by 50%. That definitely helps a little bit with these stats. And lookout support. Once per battle, when any other ship in your Vanguard fleet falls below 20% of the max HP, decrease that ship's damage taken by 50% for 8 seconds. And then whenever ship in your fleet sinks, restores 10% of Emanuele's HP. So definitely got the interesting skills. That's kind of lacking. But she is free as long as you grind the event a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That is the last of the event ships. So that is the Aquilifer's Ballade. Actually say it right this time. Has some interesting ships. Roma, Da Vinci, very good. Da Vinci better than Roma. Giuseppe, interesting. Just haven't used her. And then the elites, honestly, not terrible. For Bolzano, just kind of seems like not a whole lot of effort went to her kit. But it is what it is. Not everyone would be great. Yeah, definitely. If you want some strategy ships, especially if you want to work on tech points and work on having ships to grind for Marco Polo, some of the Russian ships. Got some options. But definitely hold us out until the end of the month. We have the new Halloween event, whatever that is, and whenever that will be. Don't know just quite yet. But thank you very much for watching. If you found it useful, leave a like, share with someone else, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.